April from Second Star Journal. I am going to be doing my first process video here on YouTube, and this is going to be my first project life, and it's actually week 1, so a whole bunch of firsts for me, and I'm so excited and I can't wait to get started, so let's go. I pulled out my old Elle Studio cards because I want to go through my old stash and try to use them up before I get my new ones. As you can see on the right, I pulled some old and new die cuts from Elle Studio, just ones that I think matched the theme of the pictures. Right now, as you can tell, I'm having a hard time finding a title card that kind of matches the colors in the pictures. I was hoping for kind of a pink one, but when I find that blue on this day card that matches the newspaper and the yellow title card that matches the Christmas lights, I knew that that's kind of the theme I wanted to go at. Once I have my cards finalized, I place the die cuts that I had already pre-picked out on the cards that I wanted them to be on, and at that point I moved that on this day in the newspaper front page over to the left side to kind of separate the blues in the spread. I pull out my title card to work on it and grab my Citrus Twist weekish stamp set. I got this I think early November and I have been dying to use it, so I can't wait. I take the cursive writing one and use my stamp pad, which I just use a actual mouse pad, and I grab my eraser to kind of prep the stamps since this is the first time using it. I always like to stamp on a blank piece of paper before stamping on my project just to make sure the stamps actually come out perfect. You can see here I'm having a hard time getting the ink to absorb on all the letters, so I stamp a couple of times. It isn't till I think the 3rd or 4th stamp that I notice that there's a little air pocket in my K, and I keep trying to prep it to see if I can make that air pocket go away. You'll see, I think, on this stamp right here. I think I stamp a couple more times and I'm still not happy with the way the K is coming out, so I rub my thumb over it just to see if maybe that can help. And I push really hard on the stamp and decide I'm just going to go for it. And I'm actually really happy with the way it came out. It came out perfectly on the card. Because I'm trying to go through my stash, I look quickly through my alpha stickers to see if I have any numbers, but decide just to pull out my Elle Studio medium Jane outline stamps, which I'm obsessed with, and use the numbers there and have a hard time deciding where I want to actually put the number. But finally decide next to the word week probably is the best spot to put it. Since this is my first project life, I decided I wanted to work in a 6x8 album, so I didn't feel overwhelmed by the size of the bigger albums like the 6x12. But next year I do think I will be going to a 6x12 because I had a real hard time limiting my photos and my journaling for this week. Since I am trying to use up my cards, you'll see that I grabbed that 3x6 Currently Loving card, and I'm just using it kind of like a title card for that picture. And since there's so much extra space at the bottom of that picture, I don't mind cutting it off. I had picked out that Totally Worth It die cut that I wanted to put on that picture, but since I don't have much journaling cards, since I wanted to use that 2020 favorites, I kind of placed that teal journaling card there, but decided to hold off on sticking anything down while I work on this photo of me and my dog Snoopy. This week I'm relying heavily on the label die cuts to have journaling for the photos since I don't have a specific journaling card, and I used a pencil just to kind of mark off where I wanted to cut off so I knew where to stop my journaling about that picture with Snoopy, who you can't tell in the background, but he's laying behind me while I was working. Once I have the journaling done, I put the card back on the photo and cut off the extra, and then grab my Heidi Swap little stapler just to kind of give a little bit of detail. I will try to remember to link everything that I used down below in the description.
I pull out my chipboard and notice right away that there's two labels on that, one blue and one yellow, and figure this is the perfect way to tie those two colors together on each side of the spread. So I grab my Heidi Swap roller date and stamp the date that the front page of the newspaper was pulled from on the yellow label and work on that on this day card next. I place a label at the top and then pull out the die cut that I had picked out, which says real life, and place that under my label and call this journaling card good. I go back to that chipboard blue label and decide that that's what I want to stamp this week's date on. So I grab my roller stamp, and since I don't want the year on it, I grab some washi tape to cover up the 2021 to ink it up and then pull it off to stamp it on the blue label. And then I just use a little marker to put a dash between the dates. I struggle for a little bit as to where I want to place it, but then just decide to put it above the word week and then call that card good for now. I will go back to it, you'll see in a little bit. The next thing I want to work on is that picture of the town hall. It was lit up for Christmas and I love the way that the picture came out. So I wanted to figure out how to journal it, and I pull out a couple of items to try to see if I can make them work. Looking through my die cuts again, I find a gray die cut label that is a good size for journaling and use that to pull in the gray from the black and white photo of me and Snoopy. I stick that down and then go back to the coffee picture or the currently loving journaling card and decide I do want to put something in that little label, but none of the stamps from my Let's Eat stamp set from Elle Studio was fitting. So I grabbed my It's a Wonderful Life stamp set and chose the word highlights to fit there. Because I wanted that totally worth it die cut to be at the top left, I pull it over to make sure I'm stamping it in the correct spot. Then stick those two together and stick it on the photo and call that one done for now. I grab that last die cut that says Happy New Year and use that on my title card and call that good. I then go through my phrase stickers and find the perfect one that says coffee time and put that on my coffee photo. I continue to look through the phrase stickers just to see if there's any others that might match, but decide not to put any more on this. I'm pulling out my puffy stickers and my chipboards just to see if there's might be something that kind of pulls in the colors or the theme, and find my Felicity Jane little puffy hearts that has a pale blue and a pale yellow, and I put this on the couple of photos just to tie the colors in and call this spread good. I do end up swapping the pictures on the right over and putting it on the left side, but all in all, I am happy with the way that this spread comes out. And I hope that you liked this video. And if you do, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe because I'll do more. Thank you.